I'm here at NamesCon 2015 with Alan Sullivan. Alan, good to see you again, man.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Tell me some of the highlights of the conference for you so far.
So I'm starting to see some innovation in the technology area. You know, I know it's really focused a lot on people who own domain name portfolios, but for those people that don't own a domain name portfolio, how do they find a name? And how do they find one they can afford, right? So I look at the technology, like what Domainers done, right? They have a mechanism for you to like kind of search through and see, you know, what's out there, and they support things like looking at domain name hacks, right? And you know, sometimes if you take a country code domain, CCTLD, like Bitly is a good example, right?
Making a word or a phrase out of the what's left of the dot versus what's right of the dot, the extension.
Right, and now you have all these really cool top-level domains, these GTLDs, right? You can look around, you know, I could look over there and I was like, there's Ninja, there's Rocks, you know, you could say, you know, your name rocks or your favorite team rocks, whatever, right? So you could say things with these things, and ultimately all this stuff is about indexing the internet, right? And do you have an interesting pointer? Do you have an interesting index into that space, right? That's what it's ultimately about.
Sure. So tell us more about how DomainDiction comes into play,
Yep.
what you do within the industry.
Yeah. So what DomainDiction does is provide marketing services to the GTLDs. So when we saw, you know, the GTLDs are coming, Janie Marie Larson, who's the CEO, she had this vision of, hey, I think these folks are going to need our help, because we both been in the industry for a long time, and recognized that there needed to be some marketing applied to this. The best example of smart marketing applied in a crowded market is GoDaddy, right? They did their Super Bowl ad. Now they're the premier registrar. You got to apply marketing to this stuff. You can't just like build it and people are going to magically find it, right? You got to actually have a plan. And so that's what we've done. And now we're working on some interesting underneath tools in the data space that is related to this. And that's where I came in. I've come in as a data geek, a tech guy, to kind of like, let's see where we go with this stuff.
Excellent. So in regards to the new GTLDs, do you have any favorite extensions of yours, of your own, or do you have any that you've actually bought and you want to talk about, or anything that you're really excited about?
Yeah, the ones I think that are interesting are like I like .club. You know, that's one. The two that I mentioned, Ninja, Rocks. You know, there's something that gives you action. I like some of the more niche-y ones that people aren't really going to think about, like .kitchen. I like .rest. I like .menu. Right, things where people are doing creative things. It's more around what the GTLD or the registries are doing with those names than just the names themselves, right? So that's what I look at. Who's being innovative in this space? Who's doing cool, innovative things?
So I would venture to guess that you think this is going to be the future of domaining, the new GTLD space. Is this where you see things headed? Where do you see the domain industry in 5 or 10 years?
That's a great question. What I'm looking for is what is the cool new app that will make use of this indexing technology, that will make use of these names in a very recognizable way, right? I mean, what we've allowed ourselves to do is go from .com, right? Everything was kind of crammed under .com or .net or .org, or there's the country codes that have been reused, and you have .biz and the old ones like .arrow, .coop, .museum. What do you do with .museum, right? What did they do? And the thing that you didn't see that I'm seeing now is innovation with how you use these names. That's the big difference. So that's where I see things 5 years from now, or what I'm hopeful for is that there is some application, something, and I think it's going to be mobile, right? The mobile space is really growing, and the whole PC space is going down, but that indexing is still needed. It doesn't go away. And some people say you don't need domain names because it's all about apps. That's not true. You need a way to even index those apps, right? And so something's going to come along, because it is the when you look at the whole infrastructure, it represents the index of the content. How do you find stuff? And I don't think that's going to go away. Yeah.
That's a great point. Excellent. Thanks, Alan, for your time, and great to see you again.